Welcome to the Exterior Angle podcast. For those of you who are absent from class, this is what you missed. All right, so we want to solve for exterior angles. In the previous lesson, we looked at proof for exterior angles, and we looked at a little bit at exterior angles for triangles. And now we're going to do a few more problems. Some of these are in your notes, and I believe this is one of them. And others are in your notes, and some aren't. So we want to solve for this exterior angle. Remember that the exterior angle, there's an I in there somewhere, angle equals the sum of the remote interior angles. All right, so our exterior angle, here's angle X. All right, so X is equal to, and the remote interior are the ones that are not adjacent. So that means X equals 60 plus 55, which is 115 degrees. Right? And we can also find Y. Remember that X and Y here form a linear pair. Right, so they form a linear pair, which means they add to 180. Right? And we already found X. So 115 plus Y equals 180 degrees, because that's what a linear pair adds up to. And if we subtract 115 from both sides, Y is 65 degrees. And we're all done with this one. All right? So if you write this down in your notes, and of course you can pause me if you need more time. I'm going to go to the next problem. Right, this one I believe is in your notes. All right, so we want to find Y. All right, so Y is an exterior angle. All right, and that means it's going to be equal to the sum of these two non-adjacent angles. So that means Y will equal 30 plus 82, which is 112 degrees. That's all there is to it. All right, X here is X and Y form a linear pair, right? So X plus Y will equal 180 degrees, and that's because they're a linear pair. Right? And we found Y. Y was 112. So if we subtract 112 from both sides, right? Actually, I'll even write in the 112 minus 112. X is going to be equal to 68 degrees. And we're all done with number 2 here. All right, so exterior angle theorem. In triangle DEF, an exterior angle at F is represented by 8x plus 15. If the two non-adjacent interior angles are represented by 4x plus 5 and 3x plus 20, we want to find the value of x. And actually, we're also going to find the measures of the angles, because sometimes you'll be asked that. Find the measures of the 3 angles as well. Right, so we won't have to worry about drawing and labeling a diagram because it's already in your notes. This one is in your notes. It's at the bottom of the second page. And so now we're going to use our theorem to set up an equation. And that theorem is exterior angle theorem. Okay? So our exterior angle, and this is our exterior angle. So 8x plus 15 is equal to the sum of these two non-adjacent interior angles. So 3x plus 20 plus 4x plus 5. All right, so we'll combine our like terms. 8x plus 15. My 8 looks a little weird there. Here we go. 3x plus 4x is 7x. And 20 plus 5 is 25. All right, so now we want to get all the x's on one side and the constants on the other. We'll subtract 7x from both sides. 8x minus 7x is x, so we have x plus 15 over here. And then we're left with a 25 over here. And then we want to isolate x, so we'll subtract 15 from both sides. So 25 minus 15 means x is 10. Right? And so now we'll find the measures of those three angles. All right, so their exterior angle is 8x plus 15. We'll just substitute 10 for the x. And that's going to give us 80 plus 15. So that's going to be 95 degrees. All right, we'll find the measure of one of the two interior angles, I guess 3x plus 20. So that's going to be 3 times 10 plus 20. All right, that'd be 30 plus 20, which is 50. And when we're finding these, if the two angles in the triangle don't add up to our exterior angle, then we'll know maybe we made a mistake. Maybe we made an addition error, or we wrote down the wrong number, or but then we can check ourselves. And if they match, if the two interior angles, two remote interior angles, add together to equal the exterior angle, well, then we can feel pretty confident we got our answer correct. All right, so now we'll find the measure of the last angle. So 4 times 10 plus 5, that would be 40 plus 5, which is 45. And notice that 50 plus 45 does add up to 95. So I think we can feel pretty confident that we got this problem right. I think I have just one more problem for us. Nope, I don't. I forgot. I have a couple problems that aren't in your notes, and then I have one more problem. That's okay. We could use the practice. All right, so we're going to use exterior angle theorem to solve for x. All right, so that means that 94 here, that exterior angle, this is our exterior angle, that equals the sum of the other two angles that are not adjacent. In other words, not y. So 94 is equal to 60 plus 2x, and now we can just solve for x. So we'll subtract 60 from both sides. That gives us 34 equals 2x, and then we'll just divide both sides by 2. 17 equals x. All right, and now we can find the value of y. All right, and we don't even need to know what x is to find y, because we know that 94 plus y, that's a linear pair. That has to add to 180. If I subtract 94 from both sides, y is going to be equal to 86 degrees. Right? Oh, and here we can check ourselves. I think you'll be able to see that. There we go. I think you can see that when I hit the screen, because I think it's recording everything that's on the screen. So here you can see, look, we got it right. 17 was x. And we found y already. All right, let's solve another one. All right, so we want to use exterior angle theorem to solve for x. All right, so this would be our exterior angle. And in the last podcast, we saw how an exterior angle is formed if we would just extend one of the sides of the triangle. And we can actually create an exterior angle at every one of these angles. Right? But we have one up there that we want to solve for. So that exterior angle there is equal to the sum of these two non-adjacent angles. So 100 is equal to, you can just drop those parentheses. It's just telling you that whole measures in degrees. 2x plus 3 plus 51. We need to add our like terms. So 100 equals 2x plus 54. And then we'll subtract 54 from both sides. Right, so that we have 46 equals 2x, and then just divide both sides by 2. 23 is equal to x, and then y, of course, together, those two angles form a linear pair. So 100 plus y equals 180. If we subtract 100 from both sides, we see that y is equal to 80 degrees. And let's see if we got our answer correct. Why, yes, we did. All right? We added up the like terms, subtracted 54, divided by 2, and it matches, and we found y. All right, let's solve another one. All right, so here again, we have an exterior angle, and that's going to be equal to the sum of these two non-adjacent angles. So that means that 3x minus 5 equals x plus 2 plus 33. Okay. We'll add our like terms. So we have 3x minus 5 equals x plus 35. And now we need to get the x's on one side and the constants on the other. We'll subtract x from both sides. So we have 2x minus 5 equals 35. and then we'll add 5 to both sides. So 2x is equal to 40, and if we divide both sides by 2, x is equal to 20. All right, now to find y, we're going to have to find out what the angle is. All right, we would just subtract 20 from 180, right, because that angle's not 160 degrees. It couldn't possibly be 160 degrees because we already know one angle is 33. And a triangle's angles only add up to 180. All right, so let's find this angle here. So 3 times 20 minus 5 is going to give us 60 minus 5, or 55 degrees. That means y plus 55 will equal 180. And that means that y is 135 degrees. And let's see if we got our answer right for x. And we did. If we didn't get it right, then y would be wrong too. All right, so there we go. There's how you solve that one. So if you're asked to find the angle measure, make sure you plug it back in. All right, don't work with the x value if that's not the actual angle measure. If it's only part of the angle measure. All right, and this is the last problem. All right, so this is in your notes. It's the last one. The lounge chair has different settings that change the angles formed by its parts. All right, so if you notice here that the arm and the kind of slanted leg here and the back of the chair are creating a triangle, right? And notice that 2 of the angles, angle 2 and angle 3, are inside the triangle. Angle 1 is an exterior angle. It's outside the triangle. Maybe I'll write that down. Let me try to write in yellow. Maybe I can write in yellow. I couldn't write in other colors earlier. All right, so this is our, not on his white shirt. On his white shirt, I'll have to write in a color. So, right, so right there, that's an exterior angle, right? And those are the 2 interior angles. We're told in this problem that angle 2 is 32 degrees. Shows up nice on his black pants. And angle 3 is 81 degrees. Okay. So since this is angle 1 here is an exterior angle, angle 1 is going to be equal to the sum of those 2 non-adjacent angles. So angle 1 will equal 32 plus 81. And that means angle 1 is 113 degrees. Right? Wasn't too difficult now, was it? Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Bye for now.